Be talking in the next 10 minutes about management of medication, which is the third chapter. No financial interest or nothing against any person, hospital, or clips. It will be an overview of management of medication. When we say medication, we don't mean just the drugs, the tablets, drops, and injections. We also mean the implants, the blood, and including the oxygen as well. Medical errors occur not only in the developing countries, also equally in the developed countries. As far as management of medication, there are 6 standards and 29 elements in ICAS standards. The manual should be as per the pharmacy or the ward or one so on, or it should be a management of medication manual as in small healthcare organizations. It should cover all standards and all elements equally. These are the 6 standards of management of medication. As far as the management of medication, standard 1 is concerned, most important is follow all laws and regulations. You must be a license, and the license should also mention the name of the pharmacist who's attached, and without the pharmacist, no drug can be dispensed. It is equally important to have a formulary. We don't mean the drug list in formulary. We say all the details of the drugs that are available, basic details of the drug, indications, contraindications, and so on for every drug that is available in the pharmacy or inside the organization. There should be a process to buy the drugs. There should be a complete purchasing process where you have the list of people who are going to supply and various GRN and all the activities should be clearly mentioned so that we have a clear view of how it is purchased and inventory is made for the organization. As far as the basic aspects of storage of medicine, all the manufacturer's instructions has to be followed, especially when it is in the fridge or whether it is outside. Exactly the temperature lock should be there at least 3 times a day. Whenever there are deviations, they should be taught as to get it normal, get it reassessed, and the calibration should be done. The basic arrangement of drugs, be it in the pharmacy, ward, OP, or OT, should be A to Z and first in, first out format so that whatever drugs come in first into the system should go out first. That is a basic need for any arrangements. The look-alike and sound-alike medications are very important in today's world. There should be some way to differentiate. Color coding, as in this case, blue and green color, the list of drugs that are sound-alike, look-alike, and kept apart from physically apart so that they can be differentiated without an error being caused. Batch-wise expiry is important so that there are 3 batches of paracetamol. Each batch-wise expiry should be checked so that the numbers match according to the batch, not according to the name of the medicine alone. So very essential that each of the bill should carry the batch and that particular medicine only should be given so that the expiry does not vary. Whenever cut strips are given, it should be clearly put in as cover, the name of the medicine, the expiry date, and the batch should be written and the number. Even what is kept back in the pharmacy should be followed with the same steps. The expiry date is checked monthly, daily, and randomly. Monthly for regular drugs and daily checking for emergency and high-risk medication. The reorder level is important so that when the particular reorder number comes, they should be ordered. So we never have a zero balance at any point of time. Otherwise, if we do a local purchase, we'll end up paying at least 30-40% more than the actual cost. Whenever an expired drug or a contaminated drug is issued, when it comes to our notice, all medicines that belong to the same batch should be recalled from the computer and they should be asked, either it is the ward or distributed anywhere else or to the patient, they should be asked to come back and then make sure that they don't continue to use it. This is the recall policy that should be available and they should be aware of it. Biomedical waste bin yellow color should be used for all expired medication or discarded medication. So as far as second standard is concerned, we need to talk about the drug prescriptions. All regulations should be followed as per Medical Council of India. Many errors occur because of being too busy, illegible, mistaken many drugs or similar drugs. So there should be a clear format and SOP as to how the prescription of medicine is done or medication orders are given in the inpatient chart. So it is important to have all the details of the patient, letters written properly in capital letters, ideally as per NABS, strength of the drug, dosage of the drug, duration, and along with the signature, date, time, and the registration number of the doctor, be it a hard copy or a soft copy. Whether it is given electronically. The drug advice is important both in the OPD and IPD. Patient ID should be confirmed, whatever procedure or whatever is done before going on to give it. The credentialing of all the doctors and nurses are done based on their qualification. More importantly, based on their qualification alone, we don't do the privileging. Based on their experience and training, we give privilege, whether they can give IV, whether they can give IM. So this privileging will determine what all the person can follow, especially as a nurse. When a nurse receives a verbal order on the phone, they have to make sure they repeat the order, the doctor confirms it is entered into the case sheet, followed, and within 24 hours, the doctor who is ordering should come and countersign that particular order to make it valid. High-risk medications are those with very low therapeutic index and highly risky. All emergency medications are mostly high-risk medication. There should be a color code to make sure that they are differentiated. They should be kept under lock and key. Whatever and wherever they are kept, all the color coding like green color for look alike, sound alike, and so make sure that no wrong medication is given or dispensed to a patient. Crash cart is also maintained the same proper way. The third standard deals with many of the things like who can give. And like example, you in the case chart or whether the nursing chart, the person who was given should give based on the privileging, their name should be written, time should be written, the registration number, or if it is electronic case sheet, the login should be in the name of the person who is giving it or who is ordering it. Labeling of drugs, especially when a drug or second drug is being prepared with the name, MRD number, the drug name, the strength of the drug, duration, time should be written. Name of the patient should be there with the MRD number. The rules regarding Narcotic Psychotic Drug Act should be followed. There should be a license that is approved. All records of usage and the stored separately, and all the vials that are used should be kept so that there is no miscount or misuse of these drugs. All the tablets used as self-medication are taken by the patient themselves. The parenteral drugs are given by the hospital staff, but all the details should be there in the case sheet. In case of emergency, whoever is treating should be aware of what is happening. Multi-dose vials are used extensively in ophthalmology. There should be some rule to see that there are no cross-contaminations or cross-infections occurring. As far as the standard 4 is concerned, it is adverse drug events that are to be, they should be differentiated by adverse drug event and adverse drug reaction. Most importantly, we must be aware that medication errors also cause adverse drug reactions and events. The most important thing is to document them, find out why these adverse events occur, whether it is because of the drug. Like for example, Avastin, one particular batch caused endophthalmitis. So same batch has to be recalled, or whether it is because the patient being allergic. Even near miss is as bad as adverse drug event, because we need to take care so that in future we don't have any problems like that. So medication errors are reported, root cause analysis analyzed, and proper corrective and preventive actions to be taken whenever needed. So this is very important to follow. This is available in the website Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Whenever drug reaction occurs because of a drug or adverse drug reaction like Avastin, you report so that across the country, wherever these particular batch drugs are there, they should be recalled. As far as medical gases are concerned, it is dealt in standard 5. So all rules should be followed, whether it is cylinder or the tubing, whether you have the various color coding to be done, and it should be labeled as empty cylinder or open cylinder. If there are tubes within the ward and the OTD, they should follow the color coding, and they should be backup so that we are never out of oxygen or whatever gas is being used. These are very essential that should be secured so that there is no mishaps occurring because of the medical gases. Lastly, most importantly, the use of consumables and implantable processes should be as per approval for use in the human body. The certificate should be available power-wise and the type-wise. The consent form should be taken separately for these implantable devices. Manufacturer's instructions should be strictly followed as far as the usage of these devices. If the implant is put into the eye of the patient like an intraocular lens, the patient should have all the details of the IOL that has been placed in him. Ultimately, whether it is the drug, the gas, or the blood, whatever is used, it should be to the right person, the right strength, dosage, time, duration, and right instruction without an error. That is the whole idea of this particular MOM standards chapter. So this, we are happy to say that many of us who are part of this ICARE standards technical committee or the expert committee to form the ICARE guidelines are part of this KSOS conference. We were happy to bring it out about a few years back, this ICARE organization standard, first specialty to do so. Thank you very much to honor all of you.